I didn't switch it.
Hello, welcome to Bars and Bells. My name is Ian.
I'm Lauren.
And this is our kettlebell class.
It is week 2 of our strengths and swings class of semester 4.
Already.
We've been progressing our skills throughout the year, and in this semester we will be ultimately working on that snatch skill, taking the bell through legs and towards overhead. To progress those skills today, we'll be working on the down phase of that motion, as well as continuing our single arm swings, and of course, some get-ups. So let's start with a body weight warm-up. That's right. Let's start with a body weight warm-up. We'll have our kettlebell off to the side, and we'll get to that shortly. 30 minutes, follow along. Let's go now.
Let's do it. So we'll stand with those feet in parallel, rooting the toes, gently pulling up the knees, cramping those glutes, the rib cage is down onto those hips, and the hands, or thumbs at least, face forward. At the shoulder blades, we'll shrug up, and then round forward, and bless you, and gently go down. Then we'll elevate or shrug up again, retract those shoulder blades, and also a light effort down. Bend the elbows to make a W shape, and repeat. Shrug up, round forward, pull down, shrug up. The hands shouldn't move too much here as we retract and also pull down. Then open those arms out to the side like a T, and same efforts to shrug and round forward and pull down, and up, shrug, retract, and pull down. Then towards a Y shape or even an I in that straightest overhead. And in this moment, check in with our overhead mobility. If this is a huge task already, perhaps that snatch is a little venturous, we'd like to take our time. And if your hands or shoulders are tired from here, that's also okay because our arms are very heavy. But shrug and spread the shoulder blades and pull down, and shrug, elevate, retract the shoulder blades and pull down. And we'll pull down through that press groove, returning to the rack position that we'll clean from, and just a low effort as well to extend through the elbows. We'll get right to the floor, working on the wrists and those shoulders more. So we'll go knees over toes, little squat effort, and then push those hips through, full cramp of the glutes, rib cage down. Repeat, knees over toes. This time stay the same height and lift up those feet as to prep the feet for some lunge, and then return the heels to the floor and cramp the glutes forward. The final one will get all the way to the floor as we maximize the flat foot. Then the heels can lift to help us get low. The knees can touch, the hips come through. We'll back up a little bit and we'll land on the floor now with our fingertips first, our callus lines next, and then the full hands. The blood donations, they're facing forward. From this position, let's hover the knees to make it harder on that core as you push the hands forward, pull the knees up, and now retract the shoulder blades, shrug up to the ears, push apart, pull down to the hips, and then together. Switch our direction right away, so we'll go down to the hips, spread or push away, elevate, shrug, retract together, knees down, hands push through. We're tall kneeling here, and the hips are extended or cramped at the glutes. The rib cage is down on those hips. From this kneeling position, one last movement for me as we continue to warm up those shoulders, palms forward. Make light fists with the fingers, and then keeping the elbows straight, flex or bend on the wrist. Then do our bicep curl up. From this position, shrug, but then pull down, and then have your elbow tips point forward, flexing on the shoulder. Return the elbows to the ribs, or the glute squeezes the rib cage down, and then open the fingers to the back. When the fingers are out of room, extend the wrists. When they're out of room, extend the elbows. Go back to those shoulder blades, give them a squeeze, and reach towards behind you, extending on the shoulder. And one final time, make fists, straight elbows, bend the wrists, straight elbows. But now we can bend those elbows as we bring them back to that rack position. Pull down, point those elbow tips forward, and like we can finish with some one-arm swings here today, fingertips to the back wall, wrists next, and we'll squeeze the shoulder blades together, extending the arms, and then return the hands down low. Reset with a shake, and on to Lauren's additional cues here.
Excellent. I'd like to really quickly warm up the lunges for our get-up position, so let's bring one leg through. We're in our kneeling lunge. Ideally, our back toe is tucked. Let's lightly hike that front hip up and then pull it down. Now we'll pull that front leg in without moving and send that back hip forward, feeling that equal tension pushing forward and back, or pulling to center, I should say. Now let's pull so much on that front leg, we start to drift knee towards over toe. Now as we do that, we take our hip with us, which means we squeeze our back butt cheek. We keep our hip underneath our shoulder and avoid arching that low back. Then as we press back to tall, we keep that hip extended. Let's do that one more time. If it doesn't go far, that's okay. Keeping the hip extended, squeezing the cheek, lengthening a little bit, but then pressing back to tall. Next, we'll heel toe the leg open to the side as we would in our get up and do a similar idea. So we'll hike that side hip up and then we'll pull it down. We'll push that leg down into the side floor. Now for added bonus, can you push the side leg down, keep the top of the leg fairly quiet, and work the underside of that leg? So quad is quiet, hip flexors fairly quiet, hammies pull, knees towards over toe. Then gently push yourself forward to come back to tally tall. We'll heel toe that leg to the front. We'll do one split lunge, which means push forward and back, hover back knee off the floor, then keep pressing all the way up. Slow pull yourself back down, soft landing. And then unzip that leg and we'll repeat on the other side. Other leg comes up, same routine. Light hike of the hip up, pull the hip down. Front leg is pulling in, back hip is pushing forward. Back cheek remains squeezed, stackety stack as we pull our knee towards over our toe. Then we'll push forward into the floor to send our hips back, but stay tally tall. One last, backity back, tallity tall, hippity hips. And then one last time. These are all from the textbook, so check them out. Back hip stays extended, squeeze. Then we'll heel toe this leg open to the side. Let's try this again. Light hike of the hip, pull down. Now as we drive down on this side leg, can you engage the underside of the leg and keep this part fairly loose? Loose. I mean, there's going to be some activation, but try to get more from below. Then continue pulling as you extend the hip forward. And then pushing yourself forward to come back to tall. Do we do that twice or once?
I think once.
Once is nice. Heel toe that leg to the front. Then push forward and back in the floor to come up to the split stance. And then again, pull yourself back down. Soft landing, untuck knees. We're going to stay down here. Let's do one quick more core and then we'll get into our first get up. Let's practice that plank as we did last week with a little extra foot come up. So into our plank position, toes are tucked, butt cheeks are squeezed, pulling the floor together underneath you. Breathe, create tension like I couldn't move you for 3, 2. Now flick the floor away with one foot, bring that foot up beside the same hand. Reach energy out the back heel and out the front knee like you're splitting yourself in half, and then pull the tension back in, lift, and place that foot back. One last time on the other side, lifting up, reaching long, opening up, and then pulling back to center, end up in your plank one last time. This time in your plank, you're at the top of your kettlebell swing. Your shoulders are lightly retracted. Your butt cheeks are squeezed. You have core tension. You're breathing underneath your shield. Knees come down. Shake your hands out. We're right beside our kettlebell, which is perfect because we'll get started with our bell today in our get-ups. In today's get-up, we're going to start lying down. We'll stand all the way up with the bell over our head. We'll pull the bell down, we'll press it, and we'll go back to the floor. Ready, steady, let's go. Starting in our cuddle, we'll roll with our belt to our back and two-handed press. Next, we use that hip drive and pull on the elbow. Find your hand squishing the bug. We lift a bridge, we sweep the leg. We press the floor away, we lunge, and we stand up tall. I'm going to spin around. Now let's pull that bell down to the rack position and then hippity hop, press that bell back overhead. Leg you can touch. Let's work on that slow down as we did in our warm up. Step, rotation, hinge, sweep, elbow, away from your elbow to your back. Pull the bell down, return it to the floor via the cuddle. Shake it out, spin yourself around.
Spin it right round and do it again with the same cues and the press at the top of the get up. Cuddle. Take that breath to prepare. Roll to your back with our press. It's the drive of the hip to the elbow, then a squish of the bug to the tall sit, and we bridge and sweep that leg, press the floor away. Now square up the lunge, full tension on those abs, and Lauren's cue to pull that kettlebell down in the press, and then our press to top. There we go. And then we'll pull down as Lauren was doing so beautifully in that lunge, then open to the side, incorporate that windmill hinge, sit tall, find the elbow, and core brace to the floor. 2 hands return, perhaps no hands up. And from this place, we'll work this tandem approach to our swing setup.
So we'll go over our single arm swings as we did last week. We'll stand behind the bell. We'll use our hinge, and let's start with 3 hike passes with a single arm. So what that means is we hinge. We grip the bell, tipping it on its side. Pack the shoulder, engaging lats, stay square to the floor. Pull to zipper, park bell. Repeat. Stay in the same hinge position the whole time. Brace your abs, place it down, up without. Shake it out, boom, 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 boom. Same thing, second side. Hinge, grip, tip. Pull, park. Pull, park one last time. Pull, park. Let go, up without. Great.
Nice.
Next.
From there, it's the stop swing variations. So we'll go 1 hike to 1 repetition out front, park it on the floor, 3 repetitions on the one side, and then 3 on the other. Set up the hinge. Take a good grip. It's a pull and a swing and a return to the floor. A pull, a swing, return, and that last one, and park. Stand up. No holding back on these swings. Stay fresh and powerful on each repetition. And if we can't hit that shoulder height with the bell, perhaps lower your load or lower your repetitions as well.
Or add more.
Find your pop. So we chop those hips, we pull, park. Repeating 2 more, it's a pull, a swing, and 1 final time. Find that core tension. And then, in your rest intervals, allow some shakeout.
All right, we're going to pattern this get up a little bit differently. If we have 1 more get up today, well, for now, you never know.
She lies.
We all know that. So we'll start at the top this time. I'd like to do press 1, pull the bell down, press 2, get up, down, get up, back up with it. Okay, these presses are gonna come into play when we learn the down phase of our snatch. So we're over top of our bell. We'll pull to rack. We'll press it once. We'll pull it back down. We'll press it again. We'll leave it there. Full get up towards the floor. Take your time, looking at that bell on the hinge and rotate. Sweeping, elbow. Keep the bell up. Return to the elbow. To the hand. A bridge and a sweep. A press away. Front foot. Now, control the pull down to that rack position, and then 1 or 2 hands on, place the bell down via your hinge. Whoa. Same thing other side. Hip hinge. Grip to rack. Press 1, pull down. Press 2, step back lunge. Descend. Step, rotate hinge. Sweep. Elbow to your back. Keep the bell up. Elbow. Hand. Sweep. Get to your lunge. Use your legs. Pull the bell down. Park it. Whew.
In the warm-up, or the prelude, the interlude, the introduction rather, we talked about that snatch. I demonstrated a snatch bodyweight. Lauren, would you please show us 1 or 2 repetitions of what a full snatch looks like? It's a similar idea as that 1-arm swing, but instead of ending out front, that kettlebell will find its way all the way to the top. For 1 or 2, and give it a park. No need to follow along, but cue me a little bit here, Lauren. What might we be missing?
All right, when we do our snatch, it's a single arm swing that ends up going overhead. So we use that power and we guide the bell towards overhead. You'll notice when Ian's doing this, this is not a press. We don't end up pressing that bell. We end up catching it on a straight arm, which is easier than pressing it. So before we get to that, let's do one more round of single arm swings, but continuous, 5 and 5 each side, and then we'll work on that down phase. Hip hinge, grip bell, tip, 5. And park. Up without, a couple seconds, little breath. Second side, inhale, pull. Hips, exhale, matches, hip snap, and down.
Nice. So as we continue to explore the one arm swing, we're doing so to get towards that snatch. If any of those overhead movements are not feeling great for you today, perhaps go back to that one arm swing or the deadlift or holding a bell in place to work on your strength for the whole body and to remain safe in your exercise practice.
Especially overhead.
There we go.
All right, today's snatch drill is brought to you by the letter S for snatch. We are going to pull that bell to the rack position. So we're working on the down. Just as we did, how about we make Ian do one? So we'll pull that bell, whether it's a straight clean or two-handed clean up. We'll press it. And then from here, we're going to do the down, which is going to be a little bit of a rotation flick of the wrist, and it's going to stay tight to the body on the down. So back through to the rack, press, overhead, little flick, keep it tight to the body, and park. One more time for Team Ian. If you're doing this with Ian, you'll have one more, and then we'll go. Press, keep it tight to the body, little flick, elbow will be high for a second, and then it'll come back down.
Nice. So just like the clean, we want to keep it tight to the body. Here we are going from the rack to the press overhead and working on, as Lauren has said, that snatch movement down. So it's a press and a quick pause and then ballistically down. When we're bringing that kettlebell down, the same condition to remain as tall as you possibly can until the kettlebell is at the hips to accept that load onto the hips.
Accept.
I go, you go, right
Team
side,
Ian.
left side. Here we go.
So another 3 for Team Ian. You're cleaning it to that rack position first. You're using your full body tension to press it. Then a light flick of the wrist, elbow will stay high for a second, through and park. Repeat, pull to rack. Hop, press bell. Then little through and park. Each time you do this, remembering that through position should be the same as your swing, the same as that hike pass position. So trying to avoid the tipping too far forward or the not getting back far enough, but we know that snatches
on the body
are different pattern and take a little bit of time to get used to.
Probably one of the hardest skills for us to learn here is that snatch. So Lauren, hiked pass, clean, press, and snatch down. And again, it's a press with a quick pause and down the body and in. In our certifications, we've done this very close to a wall. Be careful that your head doesn't go through it, but perhaps a nice cue is to think of that wall being in front of you, and we have to do it in very tight spaces. So, working on our snatch, pairing that with one-arm swings. I go, you go. Let's continue our pursuit of 5 one-arm swings.
So Team Ian here, 5 single-arm swings. If you're with me, we're still resting and getting to recover from that little snatch drill. 5 swings here. It's the hips extending. Watch those knees. Shoulder retracted at the top.
And a nice firm grip from Lauren's said shoulder comment there. We need a nice firm grip, particularly as we get that in the snatch overhead. It needs to be that supple grip that allows a nice smooth transition to land up top.
The grip is very similar to what we do when we clean. So we're driving that hand through, and that over grip on a snatch, that's when we get that big thump of the bell. Stay tuned for more tips there. Finishing up your last set, not really your last set, this
last set for now. So it's 5 repetitions of the swing. The feet push out the entire time. The breath inhales on the loading of it or the back phase, and a quick hit of air on the up.
So we did 5 there, but what Ian didn't mention is we're about to do a set of 8 again. So 8 single arm swings here, 5s and 8s, and then we'll go back to that snatch drill again. Getting a little bit more time with that bell will also help us with our snatches, gain that endurance and that grip strength. So 1 set of 8 on each side here, keeping it tight, keeping it fresh.
tight technique throughout and those loose moments in between. Slow down the breath as you're recovering, but match, as you can hear, the breath out with the powerful swing efforts on Team Lauren there. And when they put that bell down, we're ready with our chop, our grip, tip,
So
and pull.
second side here, 8 single arm swings, shoulders retracted at top. Think about, don't do, but think about that snatch. How much power are you gonna need from those hips to get that bell towards overhead? Hopefully almost the same amount of power as you're using, maybe a smidge more.
It's the guiding of it. Right now, we are interested in keeping the arms straight out, chest height. Find that standing tall plank. Absorb a punch, that imaginary punch on those abs. After 8, put it down.
Whoops.
Shake it out. And then, as Lauren said, we're back to a clean, a press, and working our snatch down efforts for 3 repetitions.
So team here, Ian here, back to that clean first, pressing out of that, and then little flick of the wrist, elbow high, tight to the body part. Good. Clean to rack, press bell, tight to the body, park. Nice. One last time. So press, good. And you'll feel that grip change a little bit as you send that bell forward. More from through the hand to then into that more hook grip, if you will.
The grip. But keep the callus line gripping the kettlebell as well. Avoid truly resting it in the fingertips, as they might fatigue a little bit quicker than a nice firm grip. So it's a clean up press and a nice efficient snatch down, as if that wall's in front of you. And it's that third one for that Team Lauren. How's it going? As we said, that snatch is one of the more challenging exercises, so take your time. Sets of 3 could be quite a bit.
All right, the other thing we're preparing that Ian mentioned too is our calluses in general. So as we do those snatches, we'll gain those calluses a little bit, and we want those to prevent the ripping of tearing of the hand. Keeping that hand health is important, and if you feel a callus about to rip or a bubble start to happen, take a break, come back next week, keep your hands together.
And have a pumice stone perhaps in the shower. So here we go, we're on that second round now of a press and a snatch down. It's a clean, ending up in the rack, full body tension to press, and again, snatch down. And it's super quiet, which means we're being efficient and keeping the tension on our body and not slamming it into the floor. That's our snatch downs for now. We're going back to the 1-arm swings, sets of 5s, and then sets of 8s.
So team Ian, first arm, 5 single arm swings. Hips drive through. Think about that delay when you're doing this too. So you're staying as tall as you can for as long as you can, and that'll help you in that snatch too.
The delay. As Lauren is tall, the kettlebell might come down. We're tall in our standing plank, and then accepting that hip hinge back. 5 comes quick. Here we go again.
Same thing, second side, team Ian, another set of 5. Off arm is swinging with you. Hips are snapping through. Abs are stopping you at the top, as well as those cheeks. Avoid that lean back.
Taking our time. Feeling pretty warm today, but feeling really good about this as well. Be challenged. Give yourself those opportunities to check in. Are 5s and 8s a good number for you? Because here we are on that set of 8.
So second set here, 8 single arm swings. Use that off arm, plant those feet, strong exhale. And as we said earlier today, and we do every practice, if 8's too many, do less. I want number 1 to look the same as number 8.
By 8, she might mean like 78, because those volumes do add up. But maintain the integrity of the swings, as well as showing that awesome chest amplitude with the bell. The breathing matches there. The glutes are squeezing. Breathing, parking. And here we are.
Last set for Team Ian on this round. 8 single arm swings. We'll do one more set after this, after we finish, so no rush. We'll do one more round of those snatch downs. Breathing tight to the body.
Shaking it out. Catching your breath and looking at Team Lauren there for inspiration and to critique some form. Not too much to critique, more to compliment high strength, high effort, but also make it look easy on your face. For that last set of snatch presses, Let's stay away from the floor and work from that rack position. So we a single rack clean, a press up, all the way back. Great, team more, there we go. So then snatch down and back up. A press, all the way up the back, consistent with that clean. And for that third, overhead, and then we'll find the floor. Or do 4.
You said 3.
3 or 4. Awesome. And then park it and a little bit of shake. Still working, I go, you go, here we go.
So it's one hand on the bell, through to the rack position. Keep your feet as they are, press the bell overhead, tight to the body, back to the rack. Press the bell overhead, tight to the body, back to the rack. Remembering that rack is just a swing that ends in that rack position, so right, clean. So you're still using your hips on the up and the down. Same thing, second side.
Nice. So try to link those snatches together, taking our time to do so. This is week 2. For week 6, lots of time to get towards maybe 50 snatches overall. We're taking our time to get there. A press, a snatch down.
It's kind of like 3.5, isn't it?
The press in the beginning.
Yeah.
I had to think about that at the beginning as well. But 3 or 4, 3.5 or 4.5, here we go.
Okay, square up, pack lat, clean in. Press it, keep it tight to the body on the down. You're leaving the feet where they are for this. Sometimes in that press, we like to step together, but keep the feet in that hinge or swing position. And last one-ish, as you press the bell, tight to the body, quiet park. Nice.
Awesome.
Now to really build endurance in both our grips, our minds, our bodies, we are going to finish with, I go 5 right-handed swings, or left, it doesn't matter. I go 5, Ian goes 5. I go 5, Ian goes 5. I go 10, Ian goes 10. 10, 10, 5, 5, done.
Excellent. A little upsies, downsies to go with our other super technical terms. So 5 swings if you're swinging, or if not, rest with me and we'll go when Lauren puts that bell down. That's 5.
Whew. So take your time, use that off arm, work that grip a little bit, but again, be safe, save it. Rips take too long to heal, so quit before it rips.
Right. Visual checks and hot spot feels, if you know how that's going, take your time. But 5 again comes around pretty quick, so as they finish up, let's get going again here.
All right, team in again. 5 single arm swings. And then we're adding some reps to get all the way to the number 10. If 10's too many, pick a number that's less. Make them good, make them strong.
Shake out. As we said throughout, just maintain the integrity of each swing. If the next swing is low, be done. If the next side is way up high, grab a heavier kettlebell. Sometimes that heavier kettlebell can help lock you into your form as you feel the urgency to cramp your glutes, to use your abs. Rest and shake, and here we go for a 10.
Same thing, second side. That shoulder is not holding the bell, but the lat is. So keep it retracted and packed into that lat. Think of it connecting all the way down to the hip, and the hip's what sends that power to the bell. Last 1 or 2 here for Team Ian, and then we're round 2, 10 reps.
So tomorrow, as with last week, I'll know that my hamstrings, my back and legs will feel like some work. My glutes, my abs,
my adductors,
adductor hamstrings, just really making sure the places of tension aren't the upper traps too much, nor that low back. Check in today, tomorrow, how'd you feel before, during, and after?
Team Ian, second round of 10 swings, or last round of 10 swings here. We have one more set of 5 to finish up. Breathing. So match it. If you're off with me, we're staying loose. We're trying to slow that breath down, and we have one more set of 5 to finish up today. Keeping those toes heavy, the feet planted, ramrod straight.
Well, I was getting excited. I think it's our last set, but that's okay. Feeling winded, but feeling strong. This is that last set of 5 for Team Lauren. Set up the kettlebell just right. And here we go. 5
and especially on this last set here, making sure you're still using that hinge. If I was looking at you from the side as I do my side profile swings here, you can see that bell behind me. I'm reaching through my hips. Keep that deep hinge, like this every time.
If we're looking at that kettlebell, it'll be below the buttock and above the knee. If it's lower than the knees, you might be scooping or slumping in that swing. Avoid that to, again, protect your low back and the body as a whole.
Teeny in one last time here. Set of 5 single arm swings. Shoulders retracted, abs and butts. We'll finish with a quick breath and we'll just recap what we did today. So a nice breath in and exhale. And in and exhale. And adding on in, hold and exhale. And in, hold, and then in some more. And then exhale. And then hold empty. And one more round. In. Hold. In more. And then out. And then hold empty. And relax. Whew. Well, thanks for joining us today, where we worked on our single arm swings, worked on that snatch down, so the press up tight to the body, back to the rack press. If you want something to work on in between this Tuesday and next Tuesday, where we link it a little bit more, practice that little modified snatch, as well as some get-ups and some presses. Can't go wrong. Until next Tuesday, we have a Thursday class at the bar,
where we're working on our push-ups this time around and those plies for hip mobility. So you need body weight, you join us on Thursday, and your body weight and a little bit of space joining us on Saturday morning, live at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, or thereafter in the archive, where we'll continue to work on mobility exercises for the whole body and playful movements, including the handstand. Until next time, visit our website, become a Patreon, subscribe to our newsletter, like and subscribe and share this video. Thank you very much for being here at session 2 of 6 in semester 4, and we'll be back next week. So until next time, take care.
Stay strong.
And train soon.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.